وأن هذا العلم مخصوص بما قد شاع فيه عند كل العلماء.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today I want to answer a question that I get asked quite a bit, which is, I'm a new student to Medina and I already know the Arabic language and I've memorized the Quran, or I've memorized half of the Quran. What do you advise me with? Shall I go to the Mahad, which is the Institute for Learning the Arabic Language, which is a period of 2 years? Or shall I go directly to the Kulliyah, to the faculty? And I always advise, depending on the person who asks, but majority of the time, if this is the case, someone that already knows the Arabic language, perhaps he already studied in Egypt, or he comes from a family that already speak Arabic, and he memorized the Quran by the permission and the mercy of Allah Azza wa Jal, then I would always advise such a person, do not waste your time in the Mahad. Do not waste your time in the Mahad. Go directly to the Kulliyah. Many people, and as if it's the same thing that comes to people's mind, is I want to spend more time in Medina. If I go to Kulliyah, I will only be in Medina for 4 years. But if I go to the Mahad, I'll be in Medina for 6 years. Which is, if you look at it from outwardly, is a win-win situation. You get 2 extra years in Medina, 2 extra years to do other things, 2 extra years to memorize more, 2 extra years Masjid al-Nabawi. And outwardly, it's true. But when it comes to the practical, and that which we have witnessed, me, myself, and others that have come before me, is that those that come and do so, 9 times out of 10, they either lose their high aspiration, or they don't benefit from their time in the Ma'had those 2 years. You'll find that he was half of the Quran. He never did anything extra. He never went and got the qira'at. He never got ijazah. You'll find that he already knows Arabic. He never learnt higher levels books in the Arabic language, in grammar and in sarf, morphology. You will find that he's at the same level, if not a little bit more higher than the level than he came 2 years down the line. This is a reality that we've seen with so many people. And in worst case scenario, that person ends up not finishing the Jami'ah at all. He ends up quitting early for whatever reason. And so I would advise, go directly to the Kulliyah for a number of reasons. The one that I just mentioned. And secondly, you don't know how much time you have spare to study in Medina, especially if you're someone who is older in age, 24, 25 and plus. Anyone who's of that age and plus, then I would advise him, don't go to the Ma'had if you already know Arabic and if you already memorized the Quran or half of it. Why? Because you don't know what the future holds. You don't know what's going to happen in 4 years time, 5 years time. You don't know. You have your people at that age tend to be of responsibility, and they're married and they have duties, and many of them, they're not able to bring their families and their wives over. And so to stay away from the family for 6 years, 2 extra years when there was no need to, you will find that difficulties come along the road. And so let's say he started from the beginning, and 2 years goes down the line, something comes up. He's been away from his family for 2 years, only goes back in the summer. They look down the road as a couple and they say, how much time have we got left till you finish? It's 4 complete years. It's at the beginning of Kulliyah. And many a time, I've seen it so many times, the couple or the family can't be patient with another 4 years. It's too far down the line. But you will find, if he took the option of going to the Kulliyah in the first place, and he started off from the Kulliyah, and he had 2 years down the line, something came up, or it was a struggle to stay away from the family. If they look down the line, they can see the end of the tunnel. It's only 2 years left. It's only 4 semesters. It's only 1.5 years. You can notch it down. You can be patient until that person finishes. And if Allah Azza wa Jal blesses you, then you can continue your studies in Masters and PhD, and it's easier to bring your family at that stage, and you're able to work and the likes. And so that's a big reason why, one of the big reasons why I would say, if you're in that category, then do not waste your time in the Mahad. do not spend too much time in the Mahad. Go forth, complete your 4 years. If Allah Azza wa Jal has written for you more, continue. That is better for you than to start the Mahad and to do 4 years, including the Mahad. That's 2 years Mahad, 2 years Kulliyah, and then you don't get to finish the Jami'ah. It's better for you to do 4 years and you finish the Jami'ah than to do 4 years and you end up quitting. There's many students that have come to the Jami'ah, especially the Westerners, and many of them do not graduate for different reasons. Some legitimate and some not legitimate. And I'm not here to discuss why people leave and the likes of that. But one of the main reasons which makes a person leave the Jami'ah is that his aspiration dies, that his love of knowledge dies. And that can occur due to many reasons. And one of the reasons is if you're someone who knows the Arabic language and you've memorized the Quran and you're of this certain level that is higher than the Institute of the Arabic language. If you go to the Mahad, you're going to a class where majority of the students don't know the Arabic language and they're learning هذا بيت وهذا كتاب. This is a book and this is a door and this is a chair. Very basic levels of Arabic. Of course, for the one who doesn't know, this is good for him. But for the person who's already studied and knows how to fluently speak Arabic, to do that for 25 hours a week, 5 days a week, 5 hours every single weekday, and then it is really hard. I've seen many brothers, they say, I'll be patient, I'll read a book at the back. And I remember one brother, he was reading a book at the back of his classroom whilst they were learning Arabic. And at break time, I came to his classroom after 2 weeks, sleeping in class. And you'll find a couple of weeks later, he's sleeping in. He's not even coming into the university. And you'll find if he continues upon that and it becomes a habit for him because it's so boring for him. It's hard for him to stay interested because it's so easy. And he can't even develop himself in that environment. And then you tend to find that he becomes lazy. He ends up not coming to university. And then he finds himself almost getting kicked out of the university because the university has a rule, which is if you do not attend the Mahad for 10 days or 10 to 15 days, not consecutively, in any time in that semester, then you are liable to be getting kicked out of the university because you don't look like someone that wants to be there. And that's true. Someone that sleeps in and doesn't attend for 15 days and the semester is only 15 weeks, then that person, in their eyes, is not serious and is not deserving of a seat in the Jami'ah. And that's a scary position to be in after coming and traveling all those miles away from your homeland. And so this is something that a person should bear in mind. A person that knows Arabic should not put himself in that predicament, shouldn't put himself in that position. He thinks that he's not going to be of the same, he won't put himself there, but you don't know. 25 hours a week is hard. It's not easy. It's not easy to deal with. And so for all of those reasons, and perhaps there are other reasons that I can't remember at the moment, but if it comes to me, inshallah, I'll mention it in other halaqat. I would advise you, if you're a student that knows the Arabic language, tawakkal ala Allah. Go to the kulliyah, try your best, get the best marks, and inshallah you will find ease within it, especially with the new curriculum. It's not as hard as it used to be in the old system. And then aim for, if you want more years in Medina, don't be stuck in the Mahad. Do your best in the kulliyah and try to get extra years in Medina by applying to the master's program. If you can't, then apply for the diploma, which is another year, extra year. And if you can and you do all of that, after finishing master's, try apply for the PhD. That's the extra 8 years that you can get maximum. And an extra 8 years on top of your 4 years. Altogether, that could be 12 years of studying in the Medina, if not more. And so don't try to get extra years in the Mahad and end up getting kicked out or leaving or not being able to finish the Jami'ah and the likes. But instead, enhance your studies by trying your best in the kulliyah and aiming for the higher studies, and that way you'll be able to benefit more. That way you'll be able to develop your skills and the things that you've learnt, and to be able to progress and to grow more with the knowledge. And when you do that, you will find the sweetness of knowledge in the Jamia. You will find it fun. You will find it a reason to get up of bed in the morning and to go to class, to learn these new ma'lumat and to act upon it, and to go to the scholars in the haram. All of these things, you will find the sweetness of it and the ladha of it. At the beginning, when you're a new student, you don't know Arabic, it might be hard. Even when you know Arabic and you're a new student, in the first semester you're trying to settle down, maybe sometimes you might not find that sweetness, but continue upon that path and along the way you will find it, and there's nothing else like it. I promise you that there's nothing else like it. So tawakkal Allah, put your trust in Allah, and continue upon the path, and do not waste too much time in the Mahad. That's all I have to say for this halqa. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك بالله التوفيق والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.